everyone. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to join us, and I'm going to check and see if I can find this on my computer, although it hasn't popped up yet. It just did. I hope everybody's doing okay and enjoying the very last days of summer. At least summer here is gone. It's actually fall here. And I'm going to turn my sound down. I had it up for some reason. There we go. Okay, so if Lisa's here, if she could put a message in so I know you're here. For those of you who don't know, I am Ann Butler, and this is Bella Crafts Publishing. We publish a free digital craft magazine 4 times a year. The fall issue is getting ready. It's filled with Halloween projects and all sorts of fun stuff. If you are not signed up to receive that, Lisa will put a link in here, and you can click on that link and sign up. It'll be delivered right to your inbox. Otherwise, you can go to our Facebook page and click on Learn More. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Rebecca. You can click on Learn More to sign up, and the magazine will be delivered every time we do one. And it's free, so why not? This fall issue, most of the issues lately have over 20 projects or about 20 projects. So, like I said, this one is filled with fall and Halloween projects, so you're going to want to grab that. Actually, the project I did earlier today is going to be in there too, so make sure you grab that. And also, this video today is sponsored by Fairfield World, and they are doing 2 giveaways, one for the video I did earlier today and for this one. And what they are giving away is, let me see if I can find, I had a smaller one, but this is a package of polyfill. This is 2 pounds. They're giving away a 10-pound box. So they're giving away 2 of those. So we'll announce them next week, once during Lisa's live and once during mine. But if you want to enter to win a 10-pound box of polyfill, just like, share, and comment this video with the hashtag Bella Crafts, and you'll be entered. It's that easy. We also would like you to share it so people that normally don't see us can find us. Hi, Rebecca. I'm so glad you guys are here. So let me see what else. We do have a Linky party going on our blog right now. If you go to bellacraftspublishing.com and click on blog, you'll see the blog post, and any project that you have that's creative, you can link up in our Linky party. And we've been doing it with some friends for, I think this is the 6th week in a row, and we're just going to keep doing it. And we've had anywhere from 70 to 80 projects, I think, each week. So if you want to get some traffic to your blog, or you want to share a project you did, link up. You can also join our Facebook group, Do You Love to Craft? That is where we share a lot of our projects, and we love to see what everybody else is doing. So today I am going to share how to make this adorable little needle keeper. I'm a sewer, I'm a quilter, and my friend Eileen Hall makes these dies for Sizzix, and I thought that this was the perfect size to be able to store all my needles when I'm traveling. And even when I'm not traveling, to have them up in my sewing room, I know where my needles are, and I still have to fill it with pins, but it is a handy item to have. And so this is what I'm going to share with you today. I am going to turn my camera around, and that takes just a second. So bear with me while I do that. I have to take it from one tripod to another, and it's just the way it is. So, move this into position. Okay, this is the cute little journal that we are creating today. I am going to see if I can move this down so I can see some of the comments. Hi, Glum. Rebecca, thank you. It is a nice project and so easy to do. So inside here, I used batting, which is perfect to be able to hold all the needles and stuff. And to get started, I used Eileen's Passport die. It's smaller than her other ones. It's been around for a while, and I'm not sure if she's, if Sizzix still has these available, but lots of times in her Etsy store, she has these available. So if you want this die, you might want to check that out. And this die comes, let me see if I can get that up. Okay, so like this is the front and back cover, and this is the binding, and then this is the inside pages, which is very cool because you're able to cut all of your pages. It puts little holes in, so if you're going to thread it. This one also has little tiny grooves, so you can use rubber bands instead, which is what I did with this one. I just used rubber bands inside here to hold the pages in. That way, it is easy to remove them, to change the pages out. So easy to do. So to do this, you're going to want to use some fabric, and I've already cut this out. I only had enough to do this project, but Fairfield World has a stiffened double-sided interfacing. So it has an adhesive on both sides, and I put that between two pieces of fabric and ironed it down. So you can see in here, that is inside here. So I took and die cut that out. I gotta find all of my little pieces I thought that I had right here. When you do this, you want to, you put your fabric so this is one I've already done, and this is the front and back of the journal. So what I did was I took my fabric that has the stiffened double-sided interfacing in it, and I placed it on here and I cut that out. And I got one of these and one of these, which I'm still looking for here. Oh, I got it. I brought them over by my iron because when you cut it out, if any of this is loose, just re-iron it to make the adhesion secure, or you can put a little tiny bit of glue. So these are done. So I ran this through, and then I took a second piece and ran through my Sizzix Big Shot and cut a second cover. So that is why I have the front and back cover, and the binding. And then for the pages, this is the pages right here. I took some Soft and Toasty from Fairfield World batting. And it's a cotton batting, and I just love it. I took and cut it into pieces, and then I ran this through. I did it 2 thicknesses, because this is a Biggs die, and you can cut more than 1 layer. When I do fabric, sometimes I can cut 3 or 4, 5 pieces of fabric. I didn't want to try and do 3 because I've had problems lately of my dies, me going too thick and my dies getting stuck in my Big Shot. So I cut this, and I cut lots of pages for this journal book. So when I cut 2 out, and then it even has that little tiny hole right there if you're going to use elastic or thread. So I got everything prepared and ready to use. The next thing you do, so you have your front and your back, and you have your binding. So right here you can see, this is the cut side. You can see where it didn't cut all the way through to the other side. It just scored it. So it scored exactly where I'm going to put all of my pages. So this can be kind of rounded. If you used a mat board, you could have that nice and stiff, or you could bend it. But with fabric, it's very flexible, and I like that. I like doing things with fabric. So I am just going to take some Fabri-Tac, which is one of my favorite glues for fabric. It works really well. I'm going to go grab a couple clothespins. Which I forgot to bring over. And most of the time when I use glue, I just take the entire cap off, and I use craft sticks. And that way I'm able to take the amount I want. Sometimes I'll put it out on a craft sheet, but very rarely do I cut the top of the glue off. So on here, you're going to want to add glue to the edge of one side, and then you'll do it to the other side. And then you're going to take your cover, and I mean, this fabric that I used is kind of an all-over fabric, but if you had a particular fabric where it had a definite direction, you'd want to pay attention to that, but that's not something I have to worry about. And I'm gluing it right about where that first score line is. So that's where it would bend. And Fabri-Tac works really well and really quickly, but I'm just going to put these clothespins on here. So this is one way. The other way that she created this die was, if you wanted, you could glue this and have the binding totally encased. But I like covering up this raw edge here. Even though there's a raw edge here, I liked having it on the outside. So then take my glue and you want to make sure you cover the entire thing thin with a thin layer. That way you have less of a chance of air pockets and it coming loose. And I want to make sure I get those edges really nicely with the glue. And then again, I take the other side of my journal and I make sure that the end doesn't go beyond this other score line. And then I just press. And I'm going to clip those two ends. And give it a good press. Oops. I got a little tiny bit of glue on my work table, which I don't want. So I'm going to move it right up, remove it right away. So I'm going to let that sit up for just a second. And show you how I made this little strip thing. Because I had all of this left over, I just took and cut a piece of the fabric. I eyeballed it. You could take a ruler and get it perfectly straight. I eyeball things more than I should sometimes. And I think that's a little wider than I want it. So that's what I did for this one. I just cut an extra strip of this and put it on here for the closure. And I used some sticky back Velcro for that. Fun fact, this packaging, actually this project on the packaging was designed by me. So that was kind of cool. I have quite a few packages of different things of Velcro with pictures that I've done and projects that I've done. But this sticky back for fabrics is very cool because it has adhesive on it. And so Velcro has a hook and loop side. Okay. So you put them together and they stick. Well, with this, you are able to cut a piece, and you want two pieces, so I'll cut one piece and then I'll cut the other piece. So you want both the hook and loop sides. And this sticky back for fabrics, actually, it's just a peel and stick. And it attaches. You let it dry or cure for 24 hours, and it's even machine washable. So that's what you can use for your closure. And on the back here, I glued it. But when I was looking for more items to create the one that I'm showing you today, instead of doing this, I thought it would also be fun to use a tape measure, because there's tape measure all around this fabric. So look around and see the different things that you can use for closures. You could use just a piece of elastic and a button, all sorts of things. But I thought having the tape measure would be a very cute closure. So I just have to decide where I want, you know, the numbers. I think I definitely want this little metal edge on there. But I'm not, yep, I think like that. So I'm just going to cut, I want the Fairfield on there, so I'm going to cut this at 5 inches. And I think this will make a super cute closure. So I'm going to take and glue this to the back. Again, I'm going to use my fabric tack. And there's all sorts of things. Eileen has done tons of videos and she has beautiful projects all over her page. So if you want to be inspired by any of these journals, just go check that out. So there. Yeah, I think that's good. And I'm going to take one of these off and just hold it in place. And this is pretty secure. And for this, okay, I'm going to have to make it so that about 2 inches of it comes across here because my book isn't going to be wider than that. Although I think I'm going to move this just a tiny bit to get that little logo part of the Fairfield on there, onto the back. And then add a tiny bit more glue, since I didn't have any right there. There. And I'll pin this just, let me see if I can get this one on there too. Pin that just for a minute. And then for this part, I would take the Sticky Back for Fabrics. And because I'm going to have it about the 2 inch mark, I'm going to use that to measure this to get an approximation. And do the same with the loop side. And then I need to cut it about in half. So when I cut all of this stuff up, I save all the extra pieces for another project. So nothing really goes to waste. There we go. And then on the side that you're going to be touching a lot, that's the side that I would put the loopy side on. And I'm not going to use all of this. This is going to have the hook side on the whole 2 inches. So it'll come around. So for this, I'm going to use about half of it. And I'm going to take the hook side and put on here. Okay, so then I have about 1 inch, so it can be about 1 inch thick. And then I'm going to put my loop side about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge here. And peel this off to get that in place. So I'm going with the 2 inches. Okay, so I think that's super cute. And then because I didn't do it all the way at the edge, I have a little bit to grab onto. And also, the reason I have more on here is if I wanted to make it tighter, I could. So this would just move over. And then I'd have a longer tail there. But I think that measuring tape is super cute on there. I mean, When I first did this, this is a button, and I cut the shank off of it. And it's a thimble button from Buttons Galore and more. And they have some of the cutest little buttons that you can use in all your projects. And I knew that was perfect for this. But for this one, I had that measuring tape there, and I thought, oh, I really like that. So that's super cute. Now I want to show you how to put the pages in. The fabric is adorable. Yes, it is. When I find fabric I love, I always buy at least a half a yard. Not sure what I'm ever going to use it for. If I love it a lot, I'll buy a yard. But this fabric I've had for quite a while, and I knew this was the perfect project for it. So this has all dried, and for the pages, I don't know if you can see, but between those two holes, there is actually a score line too. So if you were using paper, you'd be able to score that. And how I did the first book, I just took these inexpensive little hair bands and I put it in between that little groove right there and the groove. So Eileen created this ingenious. So it has little grooves so you can do these hair bands. And then you would take your papers or your signatures for a journal, and I am just using batting because it is the perfect thing for needles to go on, and putting that inside, and that is the start of my first signature. So I would continue that for all three signatures. And this right here isn't a batting, it's actually Support Soft Foam Stabilizer. So inside there, there's a thin, tiny piece of foam, and it has a soft outer side on each side of it. And this is from Fairfield World too. And for that, I only used one piece instead of two like I did for the batting because it's thicker. And I just thought that was something nice to have in there that's different than the batting. And it's called Support Soft Foam Stabilizer, again, from Fairfield World. So that's all you have to do. She does have on here, there are also little tiny holes. So if you wanted to take, if you couldn't find rubber bands, or if you didn't want the rubber bands, because it does pull just a teeny bit. You can see on here, it pulls it just a teeny bit. If you didn't want the rubber bands, you could use elastic, and you could put the elastic through. I would see if I could find maybe a, I don't know, maybe the white would look fine because you have the white tape measure here. But you could do it this way also and tie this off. You would need smaller signatures than this. So that's another option. But I like the quickness of just using the rubber bands, and I really love this measuring tape on there. I might have to make another one. I have more of this fabric. These would make great little gifts for your friends. And the reason I started looking for something other than the piece of fabric was I couldn't find another thimble. I did, however, find, I cut things off of old jeans and shirts and stuff, and I save all my buttons. And this is a snap from, I think, a pair of jeans. So I did find this snap, which I thought would be cute as a closure too, because it is sewing related. But then I reached over and I saw the measuring tape and I thought, oh, that is just perfect. I really like that. So I hope you guys liked this project. And remember to like, comment, and share this video. Fairfield World is giving away 2 10-pound boxes. They're over a $60 value to 2 lucky winners. And we'll announce those winners next week on Lisa's Live and the other one on my live. They're giving away 2 10-pound boxes of polyfill. And polyfill is perfect for all sorts of projects. You're going to love it. So make sure you like, share, and comment to enter to win. And Glum, you use Fairfield's polyfill all the time. It is great to stuff with, and nobody paid you to say it. Yes, it's true. Polyfill is an awesome product. I think I've been using it ever since I was a little girl, because I used to make pillows and all sorts of things when I was little too. So I hope you liked today's project. Go over and sign up for our magazine if you haven't done that already. And like, share, and comment this video to enter the Fairfield World 10-pound box of polyfill. We'll announce 2 winners next week, one during Lisa's Live and one during mine. I will go through all of the comments and reply to any questions this evening. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Have fun. Be creative. Bye for now. See you next week.